Hey everyone, welcome back, I guess, to Dear Esther. This came out a while ago as a Half-Life 2 mod, and then they released it as a standalone game, and then now, last year, they did a Landmark Edition, which was a, hold on, let me turn down the volumes here, it's a little loud. They released it as a Landmark Edition on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and then yesterday they released it for PC for anybody that has Dear Esther, and again, kind of reselling it again. But I thought I'll do it like a third playthrough this game. I really actually like this game. This game is kind of really a walking simulator. You're following the story, and I kind of forget it, but I just love the atmosphere and all that stuff. So join me on this adventure here. So there's four chapters, and we'll start with the Lighthouse.
Dear Esther, the morning after I was washed ashore, salt in my ears, sand in my mouth, and the waves always at my ankles, I felt as though everything had conspired to this one last shipwreck. I remembered nothing but water, stones in my belly and my shoes, threatening to drag me under to where only the most listless of creatures swim.
So this game is not a horror movie or anything scary. It just talks about, like, it's just like a really story-driven game. And I thought I'll play this for the Landmark Edition, see what they got. They've added a bunch of new stuff. Music's a little bit new. There's really not much to interact with anything. It is a pretty cool looking game, dude. I really like this. Dude, this and Proteus are like games that I always come back to, but there's really not much to them. So you like see like a lot of detail was put into this. Like this paint stuff we'll see later on. It gets pretty trippy. I mean, there is a sense of what do you call it? Like a little bit of scariness to it, a little bit. But it's just like the calmness, there's like not even a jump too. I mean, some people criticize this game like, this game's dumb. It's not a game. It's like I mean, like yes and no. It's like an interactive experience, and like that's not bad. I mean, it's like watching a movie. You're interacting with a movie, and you're getting like this sense of like you're immersed a little bit more than say, hey, you know, just watching it like Iron Man or something. You know, you get to see what's going on and like see that plastic bag get some carts here. If you go into the water, it's just like, it's weird. My favorite YouTuber, Total Biscuit, who I fucking hate, he like did a video on this that like really...
At night, you can see the lights sometimes from a passing tanker or trawler. From up on the cliffs, they are mundane. But down here, they fugue into ambiguity. For instance, I cannot readily tell if they belong above or below the waves. The distinction now seems banal. Why not everything and all at once? There's nothing better to do here than indulge in contradictions whilst waiting for the fabric of life to unravel.
Golden ratio, fractal. Total Biscuit, like, this game is stupid and all that stuff. Like, yeah. I mean, he brings up some valid points of like, how's this game able to go down Steam? Like, there's a lot of these kind of walking simulator games that have popped up, and a lot of people yell at them for like really no reason.
I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
It's just like, I mean, this and you know, Proteus and Gone Home and a couple other games, Firewatch, have spun up after this, and I just think that's really cool. Just like Firewatch is like 2 hours long. I thought that game was great. I thought it was like, you know, there was a little bit of puzzle solving and you know, a little bit of, oh my god, what the hell is going on here? This is crazy. I want to keep on going. And it's just like, you know, sometimes it's okay to have a walking simulator. You know? It's okay to just listen. I really also enjoyed, like, you know, some of the stuff tied with some good ambient music can really go a long way. And just like some narration. You know, good VO. I wonder if I ever recorded the mod version. Everyone's Gone the Rapture was also another one that I liked. I thought that was really cool. It suffered from poor frame rate on the PS4. It did come to PC later on. That one is a little bit weirder, but it looked really gorgeous.
A wonderful sight. The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach, all the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
Like, it's just like, look at this. Doesn't this look gorgeous? Like, just like, I mean, I get it. Like, it's hard to translate over, you know, YouTube and it's stuff, but I could just, like, take screenshots and just, like, pow, 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 pow. You know, sometimes when you're playing, like, GTA or, you know, some big game, The Witcher or, you know.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
You know, just like, the little thing that's popped up on Steam recently that's, like, getting tons of exposure is, like, wallpaper, engine, like, just sitting here and having, like, you know, all this stuff go off. Like, that would be pretty cool, and having the wind and going off, that's pretty cool.
I quote directly, a motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them. Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most God-forsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex. It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption. Did he include himself in that, I wonder?
I still don't know what's going on with the story. From what I've pegged together is it's about somebody grasping with alcoholism, and there was a car crash and all that stuff. But yeah, anyways, back onto the subject of just like finding, you know, just walking through an area and just like, you know, like in Battlefield 1, there's
Dear
all
Esther,
sorts of.
I met
little
Paul.
things.
I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, He still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Also, if you want to
I
be...
find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
Yeah. What the fuck is that? So always, like, be on the lookout for, like, there's always shit on the side. I never noticed that hole over there. And just really, the music just really ties this whole thing together, I think. Oh.
The vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up. To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish, the sky is too thin for the birds, and the soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard it said that human ashes make great fertilizer, that we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and ribcage, with enough left over to thicken the air and repopulate the bay.
It gets a little dark. It gets a little dark. Hearing like sounds behind me. Doesn't get too scary. Doesn't get too scary. That's it for the Lighthouse chapter.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turnoff for Sanford and the welcome break services. But although I can always see it in my rearview mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you like in this series, there's a few more. I've recorded this later, but there's new stuff in here and all that stuff, and I want to see what new stuff they did, and I thought I would bring YouTube with me on this journey. This is Dear Esther Landmark Edition on Xbox One, PS4. This is the PC version. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @Caboose967. Public Discord link in the description. I also have a Patreon going. Link in the description if you ever want to help me out here. And for Patreon superfans, I want to shout out Kevin, Josh, Chowchow, and Zytanic. As always, guys, catch you guys later.